The Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce presents their 2012 Breakthrough Women. These women are truly trailblazers in their industries. We salute these visionaries who took risks and embraced change, paving the way for the dreams of a new generation of women.
My career path was a blessing and it was a complete accident at the same time. I began my career on the landlord representation side of the business and evolved over to the tenant representation side of the business. I didn't realize that there were very few women in that part of the business until I looked around and saw mainly men. And I found that being on that side of the business suited my personality and some of the natural traits that I have as a woman. I'm a very good listener. I'm a problem solver, and I like to take care of people and serve people. But I think women have a natural advantage when it comes to listening, suggesting, and building consensus. So I'm always aspiring to succeed, and that will never end because it's a new journey with every client. No two deals are the same. No two clients are the same. That's what keeps it exciting. And I'll never reach the top. There really is no top because every client is different, and we're always striving to serve them. I have 2 young daughters, and they are my toughest clients. I adore them. I work hard for them just like I do my business clients to make them feel like they're my only client. And that's probably the biggest challenge of being a working mom, is to serve your clients at work and at the same time have your ear open to the needs of your children throughout your workday. I expect so much from myself. I'm hard on myself, and I expect excellence in all areas of life, and being a mom will help you understand very quickly that you can't be perfect in all areas. You just do the best that you can do, and you accept that, and you move on to meet the next demand and the next demand and the next demand. But I had to lighten up on myself.
It certainly has been challenging in the financial services world for the last several years, probably since 2008. I've been proud to work for JPMorgan Chase throughout that time, and it's great to be with an organization really committed to doing the right thing by our clients and in the community, and really for the larger economy. Having said that, it's always challenging juggling all the things that are going on in life. I'm fortunate that I don't have to sleep a lot, so that helps as well. With work and with family, I don't want to miss anything. And so just always trying to prioritize. I often use the 5-year rule and ask myself, if I'm not there, who will remember in 5 years, or who will care? And you know, 8 times out of 10, the answer is probably your kids might remember that you weren't at whatever the event is. Professionally, maybe not so much. I just think taking care of yourself physically, spiritually, mentally is critical. I mean, you can't give to others what you don't have yourself. And so I think you've kind of got to focus on being at your best so that you have that energy to give to all these other things. I also think it's important because as leaders in our organizations, we set the tone for how everybody else works and lives outside of work, and I think people need to have a balance. I think this organization made of women who are committed to helping other women is incredibly powerful for so many reasons. We can help each other in our business. We can help each other through coaching and friendship and just being a great support network, and then just bringing visibility to the women that are leaders in all different areas in our community. It's very powerful and positive.
What I find most satisfying and most fulfilling about my work is I'm blessed to work with corporations and help them manage their most important resource, and that is their employees. And I have the opportunity often to work with the company and the employee to reach a resolution of whatever the dispute is that we all can live with. The reason I believe that the profession has remained male-dominated is because there are different competing interests with women. For the most part, I think everyone will agree, primary child care responsibilities typically fall with women and balancing and embracing both an active legal profession at the same time being the primary care provider creates a very difficult challenge for many women. I attribute the success that I have in balancing my family life with my firm life to support. I'm married to a wonderful husband, and in our family, we made a decision at the very beginning that it would be God first, then family, and then work. At the firm, I've been blessed to have mentors and partners who allowed me significant flexibility well before it was popular, before we had remote access, before we could all work from our laptops. But I'll tell you, it's not been all one-sided. At home, my children know and respect that there are times when work will encroach upon home. So there is no particular time at home where I am unavailable for client matters, except when my children or my husband absolutely need me. And so there may be Sunday afternoons when mommy has to take a call. And they appreciate that and they respect it because they know the following Monday, if there is an event at 11 o'clock a.m., mommy will be at that event. So I allowed, and we've created an atmosphere that work necessarily spills over into family, and family necessarily spills over into work.
When I first started, I knew that I had to work extra hard to gain my credibility. I was a young woman and there weren't a lot of people that looked like me, and so I knew that I had to work extra hard. The energy industry is still fairly male-dominated, but we are seeing a lot of improvements in many areas for women. Well, just like most industries, we don't see a lot of women who are in senior leadership roles in the energy industry. We rarely see women on public company boards. We really need to work hard on breaking that glass ceiling. I never had a formal mentor, I never had a formal coach, but there were women out there in the business and in the companies I worked at who I watched, who I admired, who I wanted to emulate. Because I knew it was very, very critical to be a good communicator and to create the right presence. There's a real fine line between being aggressive and being assertive. And I think what's helped me is to identify, that I wanted to stay in the middle of that. I did not want to get too aggressive. And there's a quote by a famous modern dancer, Isadora Duncan. And she says, and her mantra is that it's important to be strong at the core and light around the edges. That's the kind of presence I want to bring to my work life. Houston is an incredible city. We're very proud to be a part of Houston. And I want to do my part to give back to the community. I want to do my part to help people. Linn Energy is also very philanthropic. They're very committed to the Houston community. And I'm very, very proud to be a part of a company that gives back to the community.
I've been in energy for a long time, and I've been in IT for a long time as well. And I was seeing that the energy field, frankly, was lacking in a lot of solutions that would really create efficiencies for the industry and make them much more competitive for the organizations that I was working for. So seeing that nobody else was doing it, I saw a tremendous opportunity to go out there and develop something, and I'm proud to say that we have been successful in that area, and I'm delighted to see our technology being used across the world. We have not made as many strides in the area of getting women out there. I don't know if you read the book Half the Sky, but women do, it's a Chinese proverb that women hold up half the sky. It's important for me to get involved with the women's groups right now because we have not gone as far as we need to go with getting women in businesses and as leaders. My field is oil and gas and technology, and if there were other women who wanted to come into that, I would just say, one, go for it, and then persevere. The industry has so much. It's one of the largest industries in the world, and technology is the way that we're going to be competing in the future across the world. So it's a very exciting time to get involved, and I would encourage women to get involved. I see things in young women that I hope that I can help them with, things that I went through myself. So at this point in my life, I'm hoping that I can help other women get more involved, and in that way help businesses in the U.S., across the world, and help our community.
One of the great things about being a woman who has career aspirations now is that it's pretty much your course to chart. So if that means for you that you need to take a little time out after your child is born to be with your child, no one's going to judge you for that. You need to do that and not look back. Or if you're able to juggle it and find the right team, if you will, to support you while you work full-time and advance in a career, great. If I go back in time to when my son was born and I was 24 and was working full-time, I realized at that moment how easy my mother made motherhood look, and it is not. And she had 4 children and a job and cooked every day. I still tell her, you made it look too easy. But at the time for me, I was very overwhelmed, and the only option for me was to take some time out. At the moment, I have to say, I didn't have any regrets. I wasn't torn. It was very clear. I wanted to be home. And I just figured that I'd figure it out for getting back in. And fortunately, I was able to do that. By the time I had my second child, I was older, I was more mature, I saw that I could juggle it, and I didn't take a break and have been working ever since. So I would say to any woman who feels torn, follow your instincts. You can always re-engage and work. Houston is a great place for women. We have a woman mayor, and we had a woman mayor back in the 90s when hardly anyone else did have a woman mayor. And so it's always been a place where you could see what you could do, not what you couldn't do. The most satisfying thing about being a part of Houston Public Media is that I share the love of the mission. And that's the thing that's universal across the employees. It doesn't matter if you're running it or if you are running part of it. Everybody here is really focused on serving Houston through education, great news coverage, classical music. I'm deeply honored that the Greater Houston Women's Chamber of Commerce chose me as a breakthrough woman. I just feel incredibly lucky that such a fine organization would recognize me and the great other women who are involved in this. We're lucky to be in Houston. We're lucky to have this kind of support and lucky to be able to share in what we've learned along the way with everyone here today.